Well, welcome everybody to the Spinal Hygiene movement. I'm Dr. Brandon with Pure Chiropractic and so thankful to have you. I know that tonight is going to deliver a lot of value for you and help move you faster toward your health and wellness goals. Not only the short term, but also the long term. So I'm going to provide a lot of value here tonight. Take notes along the way. And if any of you would like the slide presentation, just let us know. I'll make sure that you get a copy of this here. So we're going to dive right into this. I'm super pumped and excited. I've been in practice now for over 13 years, and I feel that over the last 13 years, everything coming together is leading to this one presentation. Why is this so powerful? Because it's so simple. And as I go through these things that you can be doing on a daily basis in between your chiropractic visits, not only are they going to help your adjustments hold better, but they're going to help your body function better and make you healthier and stronger. So let's dive into this here and let's get after it. And hopefully you're dressed in some comfortable clothing, because this will be a workshop and we will be performing some exercises. So just a heads up on that. But before we dive into those exercises, we must have a strong understanding of why we need to be doing these exercises. And my encouragement is tonight, engage on this webinar. So be active, take notes, make comments in the chat box there. The more energy that you put into this presentation and being here, the more energy you're going to get out of it. Because let's face it, you are important. You are the most important meeting that you're going to make on your schedule today. So I want to honor each and every one of you for making this commitment to yourself by being here. Just think, 1 hour a month dedicated to you to slow down, assess what direction your habits are taking you, and whether or not they're taking you toward your health and wellness goals or you're off track. And it's a lot easier to get back on track sooner than after years or decades of being off track. So I know this is that the people who engage the most get the best results, right? Because if you go to the gym and let's say you're the one doing the work and you're lifting the weights and you're panting and you're sweating, and then there's somebody else in the gym that's off in the corner, the social butterfly, not doing any of the work, who's going to get the best results, person A or person B? That's right. If you said person A, you're exactly right. So put the work in, put the time, you're here. My encouragement is to consider shutting off your phone, eliminating any distractions in the background, shut off the TV, things like that, so you can be present and focused to get the information that you came here to receive. All right. So we're going to start with this premise. Here's the premise in our office, is that healthy is normal, sick is abnormal. However, sick has become the new normal, but you're designed to be healthy. Your body is smart, it's intelligent, it's not stupid, it's not making mistakes. If there's a reason that there's a reason why you're having a pain or there's some dysfunction in the body. Your nervous system is the master control system of your body. It controls and coordinates every other single system in your body, and your spine is your suit of armor that protects those delicate nerves. And let's face it, yes or yes, modern life is unnaturally stressful. Hands up if you agree with that. You see, COVID disrupted the system. It causes a big shift, not only in the US, but globally. Now, as everything is returning to somewhat quote unquote normal, there's a big shift going back the other way, almost to like pre-COVID times. So the stress is on the rise and it continues to accumulate over and over and over. What I want to make sure is that you stay focused on some simple daily habits to make sure that you maintain good spinal health and therefore good nerve system health. And you'll understand why if I do my job at the end of this presentation. So WTF, where's the focus? My question is to you is, where is your focus? Are you focusing on things you cannot control, or are you focusing on the things you can control? Because regardless of the virus out there or the next super virus or the next bacteria superbug that comes to town, your best strategy is making your body stronger, healthier, and harder to kill. We do that by simple daily actions and behaviors to help improve and strengthen our body. That's what tonight is about. You see, there's 3 tiers in healthcare. There's the treatment of disease, prevention of disease, and the promotion of health. The treatment of disease, the goal here in our healthcare system is to keep people from dying. And this is very appropriate at specific times. My dad, unfortunately, had his first heart attack when he was 42 years young. Thank God for crisis life-saving intervention. He's still with us today. He just celebrated his 70th birthday this year. So without crisis life-saving intervention, he wouldn't have been here. So there is a place and a purpose for treatment of disease, prevention of disease. There's definitely a place and a purpose here. Tonight, as we talk about spinal hygiene, let's talk about dental hygiene, brushing and flossing your teeth. Definitely that's going to help prevent gingivitis, tooth decay, so on and so forth. The next thing is the promotion of health. And that's what our conversation is tonight. What can I share with you that you can start to implement into your life that is going to promote better health, lead to better health outcomes, strengthen your body, and overall well-being? This is the promotion of health. This is true health care. This is well care. So spinal hygiene, number 1. Tonight, we're going to talk about what it is. Number 2, we're also going to talk about how will spinal hygiene improve your life. And number 3, we're going to talk about how you implement spinal hygiene into your daily routine. So what is spinal hygiene? Simply, it's a set of practices associated with the preservation of your spine, maintaining the health of your spine. That's what spinal hygiene is. And this does include regular chiropractic adjustments, and you'll understand why here. You know, this concept has been highly successful in the dental profession. The concept of dental hygiene, oral hygiene was not always around early on in the dental profession. Not until Dr. Alfred Jones in 1906, he was pulling so many teeth in his dental office that he became determined to do something about it. He became convinced that tooth decay or degenerative process of the teeth could be prevented with proper oral hygiene. And at the time, this was a revolutionary concept. So in order to prevent the problem, we must first understand what the root cause of the problem is. You see, only 16 years prior, in 1890, Willoughby Miller discovered that bacteria releases acid from the breakdown of sugar, and that causes tooth decay over time. The key here is that proper hygiene prevents degeneration. When you take care of your teeth, then they will last. We see this to be true in every area of our body, right? When you take care of an area of the body, it's going to last longer. And this is true for material items, things like that in your own life. Now, look, what does this happen? What's happened here is we have an epidemic of sick and suffering people. Unfortunately, we have not been taking care of our overall well-being. You know, look today, more than 70% of adults across the US have already been diagnosed with a chronic disease. 75% of all deaths in the US are attributed to 10 causes, with the top 3 heart disease, cancer, COPD, accounting for over 50% of deaths. 1/3 of American children are overweight and obese. Pain affects more Americans than diabetes, heart disease, and cancer combined. Pain is the most common reason Americans access the healthcare system, and it's the leading cause of disability. Every day, more than 130 people in the US die after overdosing on opioids. Stay tuned for next month's presentation in August as we talk about the opioid epidemic and how to avoid getting into that situation. So you see that when we're not taking care of our health, when we're not taking care of our body, then disease and breakdown is the ultimate expression of that. So there's a lot of myths surrounding wellness care, maintenance care, and taking care of your overall health. Because we have a thought that just because you feel good, that you're healthy. So a myth that I want to break down here is, I'm not in any pain. Why should I do anything at all? Well, look, the real problem is that this is a silent epidemic, spinal degeneration. You see, 85% of 50-year-olds will experience spinal decay and degeneration. 85% by the time you're 50 years old. And 9% of 10-year-olds will experience spinal decay. Look, I have 2 children. Calista's 11. Kyson will be 8 on Sunday. And I made a mission here to do everything that I can to keep their spine and nervous system healthy. That's why we're a family wellness practice, and that's why we see kids even right after birth. Because in my opinion is that no kid should be experiencing any spinal decay throughout their years of development. But unfortunately, that's on the rise. We're here to do something about it. Because sitting is really the new smoking. Sitting has really become like sugar to the teeth. Sitting is to the spine. Sitting just 3 hours a day does the exact same thing to your spine and nervous system as what sugar does to your teeth. Remember what that study showed is that the breakdown of sugar by bacteria causes the teeth to decay sooner than expected. Well, this decay process can happen even when you feel okay or you feel good. The real epidemic are our cell phones and poor posture and technology today, because we're sitting, we're not moving. And all this is having an impact on our overall health, not only adults, but in children. Think about over this past year, how your lifestyle has changed. Many people are working from home. And when they're working from home, they're not in the ideal ergonomic setup. Many times they're working from the couch, they're working from the bed. And what about our kids and their posture and distance learning and the impact that sitting at a computer and just staring at a computer monitor 8, 9, 10 hours a day, the impact that that has on the health. You see, less than 10% of your nervous system is for sensory of pain. The other 90% are the nerves that control muscles and the nerves that control the organs, the things that happen automatically. And there's a big difference between feeling and function, because you could feel well, but not be healthy. We can know more about your health. True health is really how well your body is functioning and performing. Those motor nerves that control muscles, if there's some interference to that function, could lead to weakness or fatigue, maybe sometimes spasm and tightness. Or if there's pressure on the autonomic nerve, it could affect digestion and breathing and immune system, reproductive organs, hormones, sleep, so on and so forth. So less than 10% of your nerves sense pain. So feeling good isn't good health. Good health comes from healthy function. And you can have pressure on your nerves and not experience any pain. So the body signals, they're symptoms, they're signs that the body is enduring a stress that it cannot adapt to. But what we think about, what we do about these body signals or symptoms will determine our health outcomes. I get the question, Doc, should I take this pain reliever? Should I take this drug? And I said, I don't know. What is your goal? If your goal is to mask the pain and then numb the underlying problem, then maybe that'll work for you. But not my best advice, because above the water here on this iceberg is the tip. That is what you feel. And then what's below the water is what's really going on. That's the root of the issue. And your symptoms, they will tell us what direction your health is heading in. Because by the time you have a symptom, is that an early or a late sign of a problem? That's definitely a late sign of a problem. So if we take this illness wellness continuum, I want you to think about, where are you on this continuum? There's high level wellness all the way to the right. The middle neutral point is 0. So think high level wellness plus 10, neutral 0. Premature death on the left is that's a minus 10. Where are you on this scale? Because I want to acknowledge you as being an action taker for listening and being present here this evening, because this spinal hygiene webinar is to create awareness around your spinal health and your overall health and well-being. To educate you, doctor means teacher. So Dr. Travis and I have a responsibility outside of the office and your visits here. Your care does not stop. You've hired us as your health and wellness coach, and we're here to hold you accountable to your activities to help drive your health outcomes and the goals that you're looking to achieve. We do that in a very loving and caring and encouraging, positive way so that you can grow in your overall health and well-being. But by the time you have signs in the body would be any stiffness, or you feel like there's a less range of motion than ideal in the neck, lower back, or specific body part. But then the symptom would be the pain. So we can see that there's a deterioration. Symptoms are showing that we're going in the wrong direction. And then if we don't take care of those symptoms, if we mask the symptoms, or we just think maybe it'll just go away, but not deal with it, then it leads to disability. And then we start working around our problems. And then we're not fully engaged in life. And this really can wear on you mentally and physically, because now you're starting to feel down, you're starting to feel depressed, you're not doing the things that you want to be doing. But tonight, I'm going to offer the only drug that I will ever prescribe out there. It's called hopium. And that's the safest and the best one out there, okay? So tonight is about hope and telling you what you can be doing to support your health and wellness goals. Because look, is tooth pain, is that an early or a late sign of a problem? See, on the right there, there's a degeneration. But if you keep up with your dental health, your oral hygiene, then your teeth will last and they will be healthy, okay? Remember, only 10% of your nerves sense pain. How about proper upkeep of the body? If you take care of your body will take care of you. It'll lead to better function down the road. But if we let our body go and we don't do what our body requires to be healthy, then we start exhibiting signs of degeneration and the body breaking down. Think about it this way. Is heart pain an early or a late sign of a problem? Well, we definitely know that that's a late sign of a problem. How about diabetes? Are there any early signs of diabetes? What about cancer? Okay, I talked to oncologists out there to say that cancer, signs of cancer, it might take 5-7 years before that develops. So we can't be judging how we're feeling as how healthy we are. Remember, 10%, less than 10% of your nerves sense pain. And then what about back and neck pain? Is that an early or a late sign of the problem? I'm curious. What do you think? See, when we take care of our spine and we take care of the suit of armor that protects delicate nerves, our healing potential can work better. But if we don't take care of our spine, it'll degenerate on us. It'll impact the way our nerves are functioning in the body, and then our body will not respond the way that we want it to. That'll lead to pain, dysfunction, loss of quality of life. Myth number 2 here. Pain and arthritis are caused from old age. Who here has been fed that? Let's take a closer look here. If you take a look at the spine, the x-ray on the right side, it's of the neck. You can see the jaw, the back of the head. You can see that every level of the spine and the health there is not equal. If you look at the upper part of the spine, that's actually healthy and normal. If you look at the lower part of the spine, there's phase 2, almost phase 3 spinal degeneration that has taken around 15 to 30 years to get to that point. So we can't just say that all these degenerative changes is just because of old age and getting older. Then the lumbar x-ray on the left, same thing. We can see degenerative areas of the spine. We can see healthy areas of the spine. How about myth 3? Anybody here and fall into this category? Hey, doc, I just have a history of these problems in my family. My family has succumbed to back surgery, neck surgery, hip replacements, knee replacements, and that's just my lot in life. That's my destiny. Well, I'm going to challenge that and say that maybe that's not the case. Maybe, yes, you've inherited the genes from your parents and the lineage there, but it's our lifestyle behaviors. It's what we're doing or we're not doing that flips certain genes on or off that will determine how our body expresses itself. So maybe we need to evaluate the behaviors because likely we mimic and model our family. So we might be doing the same things that have created that problem in the first place. This is what's called epigenetics. You can look it up, Dr. Bruce Lipton, but it's our environment that turns on or turns off certain genes. So I'm going to tell you, it's not bad luck. It's not bad genes, bad lifestyle behaviors. But I'm going to tell you, it's not your fault, okay? Because nobody's told you. Tonight, I'm taking responsibility to help educate you, and I need your help. I need your help to then share this with people that you love, to help educate them on what they can be doing to maintain proper spinal hygiene, take care of their spine, take care of the joints in their body, so that their body can continue to function properly, not only now in the present, but for years to come. So these concepts, these are common sense things, okay? Look, you don't need to have a double-blind, placebo-controlled, randomized clinical trial that brushing and flossing your teeth is good for your oral hygiene. That would be silly, right? The same thing as it comes to spinal hygiene. The only difference with this is that the dental profession has done an amazing job at raising public awareness. And really, that awareness has only been raised over the last 100 years. So this is our challenge, is that oral hygiene was a huge hit with public awareness. Spinal hygiene does not have that yet. See, 94% of people say they brush their teeth regularly. That awareness leads to 50% of the people in the US visiting a dentist regularly. Now, you might be thinking, well, 50%, well, that's kind of low. Well, 50%, relatively speaking, is actually a huge number. And why do you think that the dentists give away free toothbrushes? They're not making any money off of that. They know that if you engage in proper oral hygiene, that it is going to help maintain and preserve your teeth for years to come. So they're encouraging proper habits. Well, I'm going to give you the goods so that outside of your chiropractic adjustments, you can be doing some simple things at home to help all the care that you're receiving in our office and help move things forward outside of the office so we don't backslide. See, spinal health has very small public awareness. It's fair to say less than 1% of people do spinal hygiene exercises at home compared to dentistry's 94% of people brushing their teeth. It's because of the lack of awareness. Most stats show that less than 5% of the US population sees a chiropractor regularly, when it's 50% for dentistry. And then we wonder why 85% of people develop degeneration by the age of 50. So something needs to change here. We all know the definition of insanity, right? Doing the exact same things over and over and over and expecting different results. We have to put energy in the preservation of our health and wellness to slow down and prevent our body from breaking down. So how did dentistry do it? How did they build this awareness? Well, they got into schools and businesses. I need your help with this. So if there's ever an opportunity in a school that you kids go to, if there's a business that would find this valuable, we could teach employees on this. If there's any associations in the community, okay, I'm available to come speak, because part of my purpose is to get into the community and help educate people about this, because people are unnecessarily living in pain. They're living around pain and they're not living life to the fullest. I'm here to help. We're here to help. And the dental profession teaches this to the patients. So that's what we're teaching here tonight, about spinal care and the proper things to do to help maintain proper spinal hygiene. So you might be wondering, well, okay, you see the point here. You understand, it makes sense, it's common sense, but how will spinal hygiene improve your life and family's life forever? The bottom line is it's going to maintain the health of your spine. And your spine is your suit of armor. And it's that suit of armor that protects your delicate nervous system. It's your nervous system that controls and coordinates every function of every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. In fact, when your nervous system is functioning better, that's the system that carries the health and healing throughout the body. Think back to your initial health and wellness goals of coming into the office. Doing these spinal hygiene exercises are going to help improve your outcomes, not only in the short term, but in the long term. If you want to avoid pain, if you want to avoid degeneration and your body breaking down, if you want to avoid digestive issues and immune system related issues and overwhelming stress in the body, then this is for you. And on the other side of this, if you want to be feeling better, you want to be functioning better, you want to have more freedom and flexibility in your body, if you want to have better range of motion, more stability, more confidence, more certainty day in and day out as you embark on your day to make sure that your body stays healthy, not only today, but for years to come. If you want to get back to doing a specific sport, walking, playing with grandchildren, playing with your kids, being able to make it throughout the day at work, being able to be there for your family and provide, being in a better mood, so on and so forth, then this is for you. Keeping your spine healthy is going to lead to these things. And just think, when you start just eating an apple a day, you know, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you're not eating any apples or any fruit or vegetables, and you just start eating an apple a day, are you going to be healthier because of it? Absolutely, you will be. So let's not be thinking about hitting home runs here. Just think about taking one step forward. And I know some of you are thinking, well, you know, just one little thing, is that really going to make a difference? And the answer is yes. You just need to get started, okay? Just by start doing just one exercise per day for your spine, will not only improve the results in your office, but it'll begin to transform your spinal health. And if you help me share this message with your friends, family, coworkers, together, I see that we can change the world one spine at a time. You see, before we implement spinal hygiene into our daily routine, let's look at the fundamental principles of a healthy spine and nervous system. Number one, the spine should be in a certain alignment. Number two, the spine should move through full range of motion in each direction. And number three, muscles around the spine should be strong and healthy. This is spinal hygiene: spinal alignment, range of motion, and strength. And it should be maintained for a lifetime. If we're missing any or all of these things, it's defined as what's called a subluxation. A subluxation is a term in chiropractic to describe a misalignment of the spine interfering with optimal nerve flow. And the only people that are certified to correct this are chiropractors. Just like you cannot correct a cavity by brushing, that's why you're here in the office, to have your spine checked, to make sure it's in alignment, to make sure that it's in alignment so that your nervous system can fully function. Spinal hygiene exercises maintain the health and prevent breakdown of the spine. So they complement the care that you're receiving in the office. They're not treatment, okay? Just like that brushing is not treatment for a cavity. This is to help prevent problems and maintain a healthy, strong spine and nervous system. Remember, it is your spine that is your suit of armor, and your nervous system is the master system. It goes to every organ, tissue, cell in your body. Subluxations are those joint misalignments that cause soft tissue damage. When there's soft tissue damage, there's inflammation. When there's inflammation, your pain receptors are increased. If you want less pain in the body, we need to decrease the inflammation. You see, inflammation is a good thing in the beginning, but when it becomes chronic and long-term and unmanaged, that's when it becomes more problematic. It can lead to muscle spasms and loss of imbibition. We're going to talk about that and the importance of spinal hygiene exercises and what that means. And the joints get stuck, they get fixated. So if you feel like stiff and you're not able to move, it's likely because subluxation exists. How does subluxation exist? Unmanaged stress in the body. Tonight, I'm really going to hone in on a physical stressor, poor posture, a sedentary lifestyle, the micro traumas. The sitting is the new smoking, what we talked about earlier. But make no mistake about it, subluxations can also be caused by poor nutrition and eating habits, poor supplementation, and it can also be by a lot of mental and emotional stress. That's a conversation for a different time. But today I want to talk about poor posture and how this relates to poor spinal hygiene. The research is clear, is that poor posture not only decreases quality of life, but the quantity of your years. So hands up on who here is listening to this webinar right now and this information, who here wants to live to be 94? Anybody, any takers? Okay. Now, I see 4 people raise their hand here. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7 people out of 18. All right. I'm getting some more. All right, good. I'm seeing those numbers. You made me nervous here. If you didn't raise your hand, no judgment here, because I do this talk all the time when I ask this question. Usually, if you're not raising your hand, why is that? It's probably because you know somebody that's in that age range or later in life, and you see the poor quality of life. And you're thinking, I don't want to live that long and have my body fall apart on me and not have a quality of years. Well, let's say you knew today that you're going to live to 96 or 94, 96, 100, whatever your number is. Okay. None of us know exactly what our number is. Okay. But for the years that we have here, let's make the most of it. When it's our time, it's our time. Okay. But if you knew you would live to 94 and beyond, when is the best time to take care of your health? Well, if you're thinking today, you're exactly right. Because every day later, it's not going to get easier. And today, here's a sobering thought. Today will be the youngest day for the rest of your life. Your youngest day you'll have for the rest of your life. So it's going to be easiest to get going today. But poor posture will degenerate 2 areas very commonly. And Dr. Travis and I see this all the time. And it's at the base of the neck, C5, because of forward head posture. You're sitting, looking at the computer, heads down, crouched forward. A 10-pound head is feeling 70 pounds to your spine. Your body cannot keep up with that demand, so it breaks down. And then L5 from a sitting and sedentary lifestyle, loss of imbibition. So let's talk about what we can do to help prevent that. Because subluxation elicits a stress response in your body. As we said, modern life is unnaturally stressful. When you're subluxated, it increases that stress response. So therefore, track along. What do you think happens in your body when you're stressed? Does blood pressure go up or down? It goes up. How about your heart rate? Up or down? It goes up. What about your muscle tone when you're stressed? Do you feel all loose or limber, or do you feel tense? You feel tense, right? Is your digestion better or worse when you're stressed? For most people, your digestion gets upset. Sometimes then also with digestion, who here gets those cravings for the cookies and the chips and the quick fix? Who here is not hungry when they're stressed? You can see at the opposite end. How about reproduction and sex drive? Okay, this can have real consequences when we're stressed. Let's say that we're getting chased by the saber-toothed tiger behind us. Who cares about reproducing, right? You're just thinking about survival. The stress response puts us here now in survival mode. Then you have decreased serotonin levels, which affects sleep and your overall mood, increased sensory systems, so your pain goes up in your body. How about when you're stressed? Does fear and anxiety go up or they go up? Think about all the fear and the anxiety being spread over the past 16 months. You know what I'm talking about. Which is ironic because when we're full of fear and we're anxious and our stress goes up, our immune system goes down. We actually become more susceptible to viruses and bacteria and microbes out there. Our insulin sensitivity gets downregulated. Our blood sugar goes up. Hello, diabetes. How about a decrease in HDL and an increase in LDL? Sounds like clogging of the arteries, heart disease, heart attack in the making, and then clotting factors increase. Can somebody say stroke? So you can start to see then how all this stress in your body by not taking care of your spinal health and your nervous system can lead downstream to consequences that are undesired. But look, if you're here and you're in the state, remember the hopium. There's hope out there, and I'm going to show you here what to do. So we're going to create some do's and don'ts. Start doing, stop doing. And here's the list. Here's the action item. If you want to create change, you must change your behaviors. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. Now's the time to start doing some different things to drive some better health outcomes that you're here tonight to receive. In our office, we talk about the 3-legged stool of optimal health results. But patients come to me and they say, Doc, How can I optimize my results in the office and outside of the office? It's very simple, and there's 3 legs to it. If you want the best results in our office, number 1, you keep your adjustments in rhythm. Dr. Travis and I do our best work when you keep your adjustments in rhythm. When you're rhythmic with your adjustments, you get the best results. If you're not rhythmic, if you're missing or skipping appointments for whatever reason, you're breaking this rhythm and you're diminishing your results and only slowing down the healing process in the body. Number 2, break bad habits. The number 1 bad habit revolves around cell phones, iPads, gaming devices, computers, a sedentary lifestyle, not moving. We need to work on breaking those habits, and then specific exercises to strengthen the spinal muscles to help your adjustments in spine stay in better alignment. So spinal hygiene exercises, look, there's literally thousands of exercises that you can do that will benefit your spine. So I don't want you thinking that these are the only ones. And I don't want to lead to confusion, because confusion doesn't lead to success of implementation. And these must be simple. There's thousands of directions that we can go here. See, walking and jogging and riding a bike and lifting weights and high intensity interval training and Tabata style workouts and yoga and Pilates and swimming. All these are great for your overall health, okay, and benefit the spine. But we're going to hone in here to make it simple and easy here for you. So just remember, our 3 goals of what I'm going to show you is to manage spinal alignment, proper spinal range of motion, and spinal strength, okay? And it's all about simplicity. We just talked about it. If it's complicated, it's not going to be, you're not going to do it, okay? This must be done daily. So we're not hitting any home runs with this, but I want you to be thinking about hitting singles. If you just hit singles and get on base every single day, you're going to be driving in runs, and you're not going to burn out, and it's not going to be tedious, and it's not going to be overwhelming. But simple things here, that's the idea here. And our goal is to find exercises that help with all 3 here, and that are going to be, that's going to be good for almost every person that attempts them. They got to be very easy and quick and have time to do them, or simply you just won't do them. They should just be as easy as brushing your teeth. So here they are. So number 1, okay, every textbook in the world says there's a specific design of your spine. There's a specific alignment. Spinal molding is the first thing we're going to talk about in maintaining alignment and motion. The spine from front to back here, okay, front to back, as you're looking at me right here, should be straight up and down. If you're looking from the side, there should be a forward curve here, a curve going the other way in the mid back, and then the curve going in the lower back. That's the way the spine is designed, and there's a reason for it. From the front view, there's good, and obviously there's not so good. From a side view, here's good and not so good, okay? Especially you, those of you that are watching this that want to prevent like the hunchback and things like that, because maybe a family member has that. That's a common goal. When patients come into the office, pay attention to the things that I'm going to be teaching here, okay? Spinal molding. Spinal molding helps the lateral curves. It's the side curves between chiropractic adjustments. They also help keep your discs healthy. The discs are the spacers in between the bones. It's a gel-like material, and it's important for maintaining the curves. There's 2 parts of the disc here, okay? There's a thick fibrous outer ring, and then there's a jelly center. The goal is to maintain good spacing here, so there's ample room for the nerve to exit. If over time, the spine starts to degenerate and decay, what can happen to that disc is it can start to bulge. It bulges outside of its normal limits. What will happen is it starts to encroach upon the opening as the nerve's trying to exit. So in essence, it's like I-66 going from 4 lanes down to 3 or 2 lanes, what's going to happen? It's going to create congestion. Remember, only 10% of your nervous system senses pain. Well, here's another stat. The weight of a dime, just the weight of a dime of pressure here, does not need to cause pain, will reduce nerve flow by up to 60%. Left alone, that disc bulge, and you see the jelly is still maintained within the disc, that disc bulge can turn into a herniation where the gel starts squirting out towards this, towards the nerve hole and the nerve opening. So that I-66 goes from 2 lanes down to 1 lanes. So bad went to worse here. We want to prevent that. And that's what you see is that degenerated segment. That's about 15 to 30 years of not properly caring for the spine and what happens to it. So the disc is very important. It allows for mobility. The motion of your spine gives the gel material a lower viscosity. It keeps the discs more hydrated. A lack of motion or sedentary lifestyle makes the disc stiffer. So hands up if you ever feel looser after you exercise. Maybe you've come into the office, laying down on the table, say, hey, doc, I got my run in, I got my bike in, I walked over to the office today, I got my exercise in, I'm feeling loose and limber. What do I tell you? Hey, your spine is moving better here today, so good job. What about if you've ever come into the office, you've had 8 Zoom meetings back to back, you've been going 3 days strong, sitting in your chair and you haven't moved, and you come in and I go to adjust you. And things seem so stiff, okay? And it's not moving well. Well, you feel tight after a long car ride. Any hands up on that one? That's because a lack of motion stiffens things up. Yep, we see the hands going up there. Spinal molding helps maintain lateral curves by taking advantage of the properties of the disc. For this reason, spinal molding, I recommend as a hygiene exercise to be done at night before bed, because the spine is typically looser at the end of the day. How about this? Anybody can relate to this? Getting out of bed in the morning and you take the first couple steps, you know, and it's a chore for about the first 20 steps. The more you move, the looser and limber your body gets. That's why you might feel better after taking a hot shower in the morning, because it starts to make the body more limber here. So here's our first workshop that we're going to do. My caveat to this is, if it's causing pain, then don't do this, okay? And speak to me or Dr. Travis at your next appointment. If you're not currently a patient and you're having pain while doing this, you may want to consider then coming in for a spinal assessment so we can see how your spine in alignment is. All right, spinal molding. Done before you go to bed at night, just like you brush your teeth, and you're going to see a rhythm with this. So basically, I'm going to stand while I do this. You can sit. This can be done standing, but go ahead and take a seat. You're going to put your knuckles together here, your arms, and just simply what you're going to do is you're just going to just twist nice and easy your back and forth here. And you're going to, I put a range in there, 10 to 25. If you're new to this and just getting started, you probably want to be on the 10 range. And if you have been exercising and your spine's pretty limber, doing yoga, things like that, probably get up to 25 right there. It's going to help increase blood flow along those muscles of the spine, make the disc more limber, and then allow you to be able to do the spinal molding. So here's what the spinal molding looks like, okay? If you don't have these right here, it's a foam roll, not like the foam roll that we talk about and helping to stretch out, massage, and lengthen tendons and ligaments. This is a firm roll, but it's to help keep and mold your spine in a specific position. Now, it's approximately 3 to 5 inches and in diameter, or you can get some rolled towels. Just make the towels are firm and thick so it can cause some arching right here. So if you don't have these rolls, okay, you can use towels at home, no problem. and you're going to place one underneath your neck, and then you're going to place one in the small of your lower back, just like this picture shows here. And I put a range on this. If you're just starting out, pay attention here. Do not go 20 minutes, okay? Please don't do that. You're going to be unhappy with me, and you're going to tell me about it at your next appointment, or you might even text me before then. Start small. Listen to your body. The soft tissues in your body will adapt if you give them enough time to do so. So if you're just getting started with this, start on the slow end. See if you can do 5 minutes and not have any pain. If you can do 5 minutes, then guess what? Do 4, do 3. You might even start out at 1 minute. So then you're going to gradually build up to 20 minutes here. And when are you going to do the spinal molding exercises? What time of day? Okay, if you said night at the end of the day, you are exactly right. So that's what you do. And along with your regular chiropractic visits, this will help maintain proper curves in your spine. And look, even if you only do it 3 to 4 times a week, you'll be better off than most people who do nothing at all and expect their spine to stay healthy. So think progress, not perfection. And I do recommend starting off doing this laying on your bed. If you lay on a hard surface, such as the floor, it may be more uncomfortable, okay? So start easy, then gradually build. But the big part is just getting started. Okay, so we just covered spinal molding. It's very easy, most effective to do at the end of the night. Hands up if you can do this, okay? Pretty simple here. All right, next we're going to cover spinal range of motion. And unlike spinal molding, I am going to recommend you do this every morning after you rise. And you'll see that the morning and night frequency is by design, because think about it like when you're brushing your teeth. When you do that in the morning and the night. So one thing's for sure is that your spine has a specific shape associated. And with that shape there's a specific function. The bone to the left is known as your femur. That's your upper thigh bone. You can see that the upper thigh bone is not meant to move. It's meant to move at the joint, the ball and socket and the hinge. Your spine is made to move. Okay, that's self-evident. Spinal range of motion exercises are going to increase the strength and the range of motion of your spine. Now, this may be the most important slide I share with you, because commonly after people start getting adjusted, they get adjusted rhythmically over weeks, months, years. One of the common benefits to routine chiropractic adjustments is people tell us they have more energy. Anybody here on this webinar want more energy? Okay. Well, think about your body as an energy machine. You're either pouring into your body to produce more energy, or your habits, routines, behaviors are sucking the energy from it. Movement of the joints, Robert Sperry, who won the 1981 Nobel Prize, said this: movement of the joints of the spine is analogous to a windmill generating electricity to run a power plant. Therefore, the more mechanically distorted a person becomes, the less energy there is for healing, metabolism, and thinking. Okay, not only do we want more energy, but we want better healing, better digestion, and healthier thinking. We all can use that. Think about if you experience any brain fog, if your memory is an issue, if you just keep forgetting things, if you're not present, it's because there's interference in the communication of your nervous system. The disc must have movement to maintain health and prevent degeneration. If your spine isn't moving, it's decaying. Okay, plain and simple. Most blood flow to the disc is gone by the age of puberty. Therefore, after puberty, the only way the disc can receive nutrients is through imbibition. But what's imbibition? Imbibition refers to the exchange of fluids in and out during movement, so that when the spine is moving properly here, there's a pumping mechanism where that the pump brings in oxygen and sugar and then helps expel toxins such as carbon dioxide. We can see this on an MRI because we could see the discs that are full of fluid. We can see the other ones that are not. Subluxation, or the misalignment of the spine, and lack of motion are the #1 causes of degeneration in the spine. Let me repeat that. Subluxation, or misalignments of the vertebrae, and a lack of motion are the #1 cause of degeneration of the spine. Remember, 85% of people today experience spinal degeneration by age 50. We can do better, folks. Subluxation causes bone remodeling due to abnormal pressure to those joints. That leads to those calcifications. We call it bone spurs, arthritis, degeneration. And a lack of motion degenerates the disc due to a lack of imbibition. So what you need to know is that the spine moves in 3 planes of motion. There's actually 6 motions of the spine. Left and right, if we add that, that's how you get to 6. If you lose any one of those motions there, that's what Dr. Travis and I are evaluating on every single chiropractic checkup that you have to determine if you have subluxation and then what needs to be adjusted and what does not need to be adjusted. So #1, there's flexion and extension. #2 is lateral bending. #3 is rotation. So here's the deal. We're going to take your spine, you're going to take your spine to the end range of motion in each plane, and you're going to hold for a 10 count. Now look, you're going to go and you're going to listen to your body, just like we talked about spinal molding, and you're going to do what you're able to do. You might find that one way you're able to go farther than the other. So no matter where you're starting, just get a good baseline, a safe baseline, and then we're going to build from that every single day. So your neck. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, and assuming that you're not having any dizziness or anything like that or feeling lightheaded, what you're going to do is you're going to simply look up at the ceiling as far back as you can go and hold it for 10. Okay, there's 10 seconds right there. That's one motion. The next one, you're going to tuck your chin. So let's hold that for 10. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, just by doing that, after a long day of serving clients and being here to fully give my best to help you towards your health and wellness goals, I am feeling more energetic and better than prior to doing that. It's simple things, folks, that's going to lead to the biggest results. We do not want to complicate these things. All right, let's take your right ear towards your right shoulder. Do the best you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Outstanding. Now we're going to go back the other way. Left ear to left shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anybody feel a difference side to side? I sure did. When I went left ear to left shoulder, it definitely felt tighter on my right shoulder there. The next one in the neck, so movement #5 is turn your head to the right. So go ahead, turn your head to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, back to center here. Now we're going to look to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's the range of motion here for the neck. Who here can spend 10 seconds on these 6 movements each day? So if my math is correct, you get this down to a science, it's 1 minute. All right, 1 minute. You can do this. Okay, so for the back, we're going to bend forward and touch our toes here. Again, do the best that you can. Go to where your body allows for range of motion. So let's go ahead, keep your legs straight, bend forward here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. That I was feeling that one in my hamstrings. That felt really, really good. Felt really good to stretch the lower back there too. Okay, the next one, we're going to go backwards here. So simply hands on hips and gently arch your back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, anybody feel some imbalances there? More on one side to the other? Definitely when I was going backwards, I could feel like my left hip flexor was tighter compared to the right side. Okay, the next one is going to be on the side. So you're going to stand upright and you're going to put your hands right along your thighs, and we're going to go right side, big right hand down to the right knee as best you can. So let's go and get into that motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then let's go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Anybody notice that they could go farther on one side than the other? Absolutely. How about as you were doing the exercise, maybe you did some conscious breathing, taking a slow inhale, a slow exhale, and notice that you were able to increase your range of motion naturally as you were doing the stretching. Anybody, that apply to anybody? Okay. All right, the next one. Okay, hands together. You're going to clasp the hands together, and we're just simply going to rotate to the right here. So hands together, just slightly turn. This should not be causing any sharp or stabbing pain in the lower back. If it does, sit this one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's go back to the other side in Spanish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, if you didn't know, my wife is from Venezuela. And 2 reasons that I continue to learn Spanish is so I can understand what she's yelling at me. Just kidding. And then to keep up with the kids in their Spanish, they're bilingual. It's amazing. Okay, so 6 stretches here, 10 seconds each. That's 1 minute. 2 minutes in the morning, neck and back. Who can do these range of motion exercises? You can do this. And the power comes in the consistency. That's where you're going to see the power is if you consistently do this. And my challenge to you is do this and commit and go all in for 30 days and come back and talk to me and tell me how much better you're feeling and functioning and how much better your results are in the office. Okay, spinal range of motion can be done at any time throughout the day. I recommend you get started at least at the beginning of the day, but you can do it multiple times throughout the day. In fact, I would recommend if you are sitting a lot at the computer, once every hour. This is a great practice. So set an alarm on the computer or the cell phone. The technology can be used for some good here. So leverage that technology to set in some reminders here. And we talked about this is that your spine is usually the tightest in the morning because you're inactive many hours while you're sleeping. I want to talk to you about this because a lot of times my clients will, this common pattern I'll see is over the weekend, they have some free time. It's summertime right now. You're out, you're active, you're doing more on the weekend. It could be bike riding, golfing, traveling, yard work, a whole host of things, right? You're active. Then what happens is Monday comes around. And then Monday comes around and then you're in the car, you're driving to work, you're sitting at the office or you're still at home and you're not moving. And then all of a sudden, Monday, Tuesday comes around and all of a sudden you're in pain, you're stiff and you're scratching your head. Why? Because you didn't do anything Monday and Tuesday. How could you be stiff and in pain? Anybody ever have that scenario or something close to it ever happen? It's a very common situation that my clients will tell me about. And the reason is that you were so active and moving over the weekend and you're not as active. Things that were warmed up start to stiffen and become tight simply by adding in some stretching and these spinal range of motion exercises is going to help curb that and help your body adapt better. You can stop spinal degeneration. It's not a life sentence. That's why spinal hygiene is so powerful here. We can eliminate it and we can at least reduce the devastating effects that spinal degeneration has on our quality and quantity of years. So lifetime spinal wellness, chiropractic adjustments correct misalignments and activate the nervous system to help produce more healing and health within your body. The spinal molding helps maintain alignment to your spinal curves. And number 3, spinal range of motion helps maintain the motion of the spine, encourages imbibition, and improves the strength of the spine. Now, look, if you just went that far, you're going to be a lot further ahead than if you did nothing else. So I just want to let you know that committing to doing those things, it's going to enhance your life a lot. Okay, going to add more value to your care, lead to better energy, more range of motion, functionality. It gets you closer to your health goals faster. Who here wants some bonus ones? Who are my overachievers here? Who wants more? Okay, if you're raising your hand, we're in bonus round right now. So here we go. So here's for strength and posture work right now. So if you have an exercise ball at home, you could use this. If you have one of these wobble discs already, you could use this. It's just an inflatable cushion. And if you've ever sat in our wobble chairs here in the clinic, well, it's the same thing. But essentially, you're going to do 2 things on the wobble disc, the chair, the exercise ball. Number 1, you're going to make a plus sign with your hips. You're going to rock your hips back and forth, and you're going to go side to side. So let's see if I can, can I demonstrate this here? I think I can, okay? I think I can, all right? Let's see. Here's what I'm going to do is, let's see, we have the chair here. So I think you can see me here, but what we want to do is we want to be rocking our hips forward and back, forward, back. Basically, you're going to want to see a banana-shaped curve in your lumbar spine. One where it's pointing backwards as you're slouching forward, and one where it goes forward for upright posture. You follow me on that? So think about your lumbar spine is what's going to be moving here as your hips rock back and forth. You're going to do this 10 times. Then you're going to do it in the other direction. So think of a plus. So there's one direction and side to side. So you're going to go one side to the other side, back and forth here, moving that and moving your lumbar spine. And when you're moving your lumbar spine and that plus symbol right there, you are creating imbibition. You are bringing in the good healing nutrients to the disc, and you are getting rid of the toxins. Then you're going to do the hula hoop. The hula hoop motion is that where you're going to make a circle in one direction while on this wobble disc or the exercise ball or in our wobble chairs 10 times in one direction. Then you're going to go back the other way. Well, what if you can't do that? Well, do what you can, okay? The next thing here is the band. And the band work right here, you may have a band at home. If you do, great. Not, it's easy to get one. So in essence, what you're going to do is put this band behind the back of your head. And simply, you can just put some tension on it like that. And just hold it here for 10 seconds. And then you're going to release and rest for 10. So have you ever done that cool trick where you go into a doorway and you push your arms against the door jamb there, and you hold it for about 30 seconds and you walk away and you feel like your arms are floating? It's the same thing right here, okay? So you're going to put the band and you're just going to simply put tension and then hold it. And then what you're going to work up towards when you master that, and that becomes easy, is you're going to simply tuck your chin and push your head back and hold it for 10. and then release for 10. And hold it for 10, and then release for 10. From the side view, you're going to do something like this. Basically, think of your skull on a glide, and you should really feel it at this part of the upper part where of your neck and where your skull come together. They call that the suboccipital muscles. So you're going to do 10 of those, and you're going to repeat it 3 times, okay? And so you're going to get basically 30 reps. If you cannot do 30 reps, that's okay. Just start with doing 3 reps of 3, okay? Or 1 rep of 3. Just start wherever and meet your body wherever it's at. This is going to help strengthen those posture muscles and help keep your body in better condition while sitting at a computer many hours throughout the day, week, months, years, things like that. So remember, in summary, the 3-legged stool for proper spinal hygiene, adjustments in rhythm, break the bad habits, and exercise to strengthen the muscles along the spine to help your adjustments hold better. So ideal spinal hygiene is what we just said. Rhythmic adjustments. Every morning, do your spinal range of motion exercises. Every night, do the spinal molding exercise 4 to 7 times a week. Use the wobble disc and use the band here. Okay, 3-legged stools, 3-legged stool for optimal health outcomes. Myth number 4, it's too late. Doc, I'm too far gone. Remember, in case you missed what I said earlier, I have some hopium available for you. It's not too late. Take your body where he or she is at. We start slow progress, hit some singles. That's how we create momentum. Done consistently over time helps produce the best health outcomes. Remember, if you show up at our office and the decay and degenerative processes have already began, it took time for your body to get like that. It takes time for your body to heal. Research shows it could take 12 to 18 months for the nervous system to heal, 10 to 12 months for the spine to stabilize. So it takes time before we get to the maintenance and wellness portion of your care. If we've already achieved that point, fantastic. Add these spinal hygiene exercises in so we can continue to get those results. So how do you know if you have subluxation? If you're a current patient in our office, you know that you had your spinal health breakthrough experience where we did objective testing to find out if you have subluxation. If you have a family member at home who has not been checked, now is a great time for them to come in and then get checked. And through the month of July, we have a great new client opportunity special here to come in and get the testing done that you had done. If you are a guest to somebody, a friend, a coworker, neighbor who's been invited to this webinar, you have the same opportunity to come in and get your spine and nervous system get checked. This way, we could tell you the state of your spinal health. We could tell you how well you've been doing. We can also tell you things to start doing and stop doing to optimize the health of your spine. You know, people ask, do I bring my children into the clinic and do my children get checked for subluxation? Absolutely. I was in the delivery room when my children were born, and I had their spine and nervous system checked upon delivery because 8 out of 10 children are born with subluxation. If that subluxation is not caught and corrected, that can lead to early spinal degeneration and decay. Remember what we said, 10% of 10-year-olds these days are exhibiting signs of spinal decay and degeneration. And it's not just in their spine, it's in their heart. They're seeing clogged arteries at an earlier age, so on and so forth. So this is a health epidemic. We're taking responsibility for the spine. So it's important to get the kids' spines and nervous systems checked. So why do you take your kids to the dentist? Well, because I want them to have healthy teeth, good oral hygiene. The same thing I want my kids to have is good spinal hygiene, a healthy functioning nervous system to help foster the best health and growth and development in their body. The same thing I want for you and your family. So make sure that you don't forget about the kiddos. They need to get their spines and nervous systems checked. Backpacks are too heavy. There's a lot more use of technology these days, poor posture, slouching, gaming, all this going on. And what's more important, your dental hygiene or your spinal hygiene? I'll let you decide on that. Now, lastly, if you have the tools at home, you already know what you can be doing and how to leverage them. But you might be wondering, well, can I get this in the kit? And if you're looking to get the spinal hygiene and all the tools in the kit, we have them. Normally they're 117. I want to reward your behavior by being here and getting this information to start implementing it in and taking action towards your ultimate health and wellness. So I say for tonight, but anytime you're ready to move into a spinal hygiene kit, to have the tools necessary so you can do the things that we talked about here and make it as simple as possible. These all travel really well. You can put them in your suitcase. They're not too big. And if you're flying, well, you can carry most of it. And if you have room for the disc, you do. If not, then you might want to leave that one behind. But usually if you're on the plane, it's not a problem. Plus, you get this cool book right here that goes through even more in depth about spinal hygiene and what you can be doing. So it's a supplement to this presentation, and that'll be only $77. So you can just let us know on your next visit if you'd like to get one of those kits. We would honor that price. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. We love and appreciate you. It's an honor to have you part of our practice. We know that you have a lot of options out there. We're grateful that you chose us as your home, and hopefully that you see that we are dedicated to your health and your well-being and helping you achieve optimal health outcomes. So I could stick around here. I'm going to pull up the chat and the Q&A. Let me see if I had some questions along the way. If you have some questions, things that weren't answered, feel free to drop it in the chat box here. If you're good, you're free to go. Have a beautiful night, and thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you on this call and webinar. You will get the recording of this, and I will send that out so then you can review it as many times as you want, because remember, repetition is the mother of skill. You want to get good at this, repetition, teach somebody else. That's how you learn to master. And thank you all for the kind comments here. I appreciate having you on this evening. So let me take a look. If you need to run, I understand. Otherwise, let me see if I can find some of the questions right here. Let's see here. Okay, so there was opium, and that was hopium, Simone, with the H. So that would be hope here, okay, with the H. So just for a clarification on that, not the opioids, just in case there was any confusion there. Okay. All right. Okay, lost imbibition, Simone. That means that you're losing the movement within the discs here. And when you lose that movement and that motion, the discs become stiff, they become more brittle, and they're going to break down faster. Oh, Dr. Travis answered that one right there. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Travis. Great job. As always, great job in all the comments, everybody. All the energy I see. Yep, consistency is king. Okay, and then I think I had a couple in the Q&A. It was back molding. Okay, Sandy, if you're still here, the back mold exercise is you're going to take these rolls right here, or simply roll up some towels at home. You're going to put one underneath the neck, and then you're going to put the other one underneath at the lumbar spine, right basically right above your belt line. Those are the two areas with the spinal molding. This is going to help maintain proper curves in between your chiropractic adjustments. Okay. All right. And I see that you got it all. All right. Thank you all very much. Have a beautiful night. We look forward to seeing you soon. Of course, let me know any questions that you have. Love and appreciate you all. We'll see you soon. All right. When you move, hi Beatrice, when you move a body part and the joint pops. So I think the question is what does that mean? That typically means that there's a misalignment in the joint and your joint is trying to release that pressure that's been building up right there. So if you're getting the joints that are popping a lot, probably from a lot of sitting, and then you start to move and we just stretch out and about, the joints are opening back up and we're starting to get better blood flow and then movement to that. So I hope that answers that question there. All right, love and appreciate you all. Have a beautiful night. We look forward to seeing you at the next at your next appointment and the next webinar. Stay tuned for August. It's going to be really awesome and amazing. We got Watermelon Week coming up in the first week of August. We'll talk soon. Take care. Have a great night.